But Rob Ford, he's more like Britney Spears or something. He's like the kind of person who forgets to wear panties and puts the baby on the hood of the car. We have 2 microphones. Oh, this is exciting. This is just getting better. Okay. I'm about to introduce my next guest, and you won't want to meet Brad Fraser.
Brad Fraser? Oh my God! Everyone give a big hand for Brad Fraser. Brad, let me tell you, Brad Fraser is my BF. That's Brad Fraser. He's my best friend. He is great. So I'm going to be his dude of the day next week. So.
Okay. Does he know that?
He will.
Would you please welcome Brad Fraser?
It's a fabulous opening. People are with you every second.
That's good, being the underdog. Like when things are going to shit, everyone's kind of like, oh my God.
Everything's going to shit.
Yeah. I'm afraid to touch anything because I think it's going to blow up. So why don't we stand up?
I'll stand
Let's just
up.
stand up.
Everything's fine. Sit down. Do your show.
Yeah.
She scares me. Come up there and punch you in the throat.
She sounds really bitchy. All right.
That's a joke. There you go.
I thought it was funny. This is your shtick, right? This is what you do. In every act, everything just falls apart, right? It's a good one. Go with that.
I want to say thank you to my agent for the beautiful flowers. And clearly after tonight I'm not going to get any work, so it's probably my last bouquet. The last bouquet. Okay, Brad.
Yeah.
Hey, really good to have you on here. I've literally only seen you on Facebook until now.
Well, you're one ahead of me. I've never seen you before the second.
The second.
Yeah.
We haven't even looked at my. You haven't even creeped me. Why would you?
Yeah, I crept you a bit.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you were coming on the show. You have to creep me a bit. You know, who knows? Who is this woman? You were like the god of my theater school. We all went to see Unidentified Human Remains at the Seymour Street Theater in Vancouver.
Ooh, yeah.
Was that the best production?
That was the worst production I've ever seen in my life. I left it. It was my own play, and I left it intermission.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, I know. The actors were really happy.
Oh, one of them dumped me, so I'm really happy to hear that.
I know. For you. I do also have to say, I went to the Genies and won, and it was boring.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Boring?
really boring. It was one of the most boring things I've ever done in my life. It was the last awards thing I ever went to.
The last awards,
Yeah,
even
all
if you
these
win
people
stuff?
dressed up, standing around, congratulating themselves for making movies nobody had ever seen. That seemed completely ridiculous to me.
It's got cachet. No one's seen it. Oh,
Yeah.
really? It must be wonderful and intense. You've been called the bad boy of theater.
For 35 years.
For 35
I don't think anyone's ever been a boy as long as I have.
Good, yeah!
I keep waiting for another bad boy, or even better yet, a bad girl to step up and steal the crown and take the title, but it doesn't seem to be happening. And as the theater gets more boring and more conservative, like everything else in the world, it seems even less likely that it's ever going to happen.
That's right. So what's going on with you? Like, do you have a play in production, or what's happening with your career right now?
I have a play that was done in England last year, which was written for 5 50-year-old women, because nobody else is writing shows for 5 50-year-old women.
Go, Brad! Yeah!
Talking to actresses who are 50 years old going, why don't I ever work anymore? And that did very well in Manchester last year, and we read it here a couple months ago. It did very well, and of course nobody in Canada has picked it up.
That's awful!
Yeah, well.
It's 5 at 50 that's called, right?
Exactly.
5 at 50? Let's do it here. Come on. We have 600 people online still? Let's get Brad's play in production. Come on, people. Let's go. Yeah, it's getting really conservative, and it's like is it the McCarthy era again? Do you feel like that?
Yeah, or it's the dark ages. I mean, I think McCarthy was actually a bright point compared to what we're dealing with in the world right now, and with politics in particular, and with our lovely mayor and our lovely prime minister, and all the material you stole from me for your monologue that I was going to talk about. I mean, you said it all.
Talk about
I don't
it.
have to say anything more about Rob Ford, except he's the biggest joke that's ever run a city.
Do you think Rob Ford has lost total control of the council? And
Yeah, oh yeah, he's totally lost control of the council, he's lost control of himself, he's lost control of his family. I mean, any guy who puts himself on a weight loss program and then goes publicly and is weighed in every week and then quits because the media is paying too much attention has a real problem. He has a real reality problem.
Do you even want him to be at the Pride Parade?
No, I never wanted him there in the first place. The guy's been a homophobe from the very beginning of his career. I don't know how people voted him for mayor. Like, did you never see his work when he was just an MP? Did you never see what he did in the 10 years before he was voted for mayor? He didn't do anything. All he did was whine and complain.
Right.
And so we had no right to expect anything more. And no, I was one of those people who said he never should have been invited to Gay Pride, but he certainly shouldn't have been invited a second time after turning us down the first time. That makes the gay community greedy. People say it's generous, but I think it's not generous to welcome your enemies into your home. I think it's a really stupid thing to do. Yeah, I get in trouble for that a lot because, you know, everyone, particularly on the left, seems to think that you have to be nice and you have to respect what everybody's saying and you have to listen to them with confidence and all that stuff. And I say bullshit. Like, when people are saying stupid stuff, you have to say, you're saying stupid stuff. It's going nowhere. You're an idiot. Stop it. And I don't know why we've lost the ability to do that. And I also think when people are throwing hate at you, the best thing you can do is wind up and throw some hate right back in exactly the same language they're giving it to you. But boy, do they get upset when you do that. They get really upset when you do that.
Yeah, it sounds like Christmas dinner at my house, actually.
What about funding for the arts? It's drying up. What argument would you give for giving money to a writer?
Well, you give money to oil companies, you give money to manufacturing, you give money to every other commercial.
Sorry, I have to interrupt here.
Brad, you need a hug. I'm sorry.
Steve Anthony.
He needed a hug. It was around our table going, Brad needs a hug, so I volunteer. That's all I gotta say.
Wow. Voted for Rob Ford.
I used to dream about masturbating you when you were on Much Music.
Yeah. I think you two should be on the same panel.
No more hugging. You're the one. Yeah. Is Erica M in the house? Erica, I need a hug.
Besides writing and politics, what do you care about? I didn't write that question actually. What?
Drinking beer and sucking cock.
Woo!
I watch movies.
You just gave me a boner.
Good.
All right.
Well, what
You
else
watch
is there to
movies.
think about? What else is there to think about?
I agree. Sucking cock and movies. Drinking booby.
Yeah. Working in the theater. Hello.
I
Yeah.
digress. Brad, all right, how much time do I have with Brad?
I think you've had a lot.
I have.
I don't give this much time to my mother when I'm at the nursing home, frankly.
I hope I'm more interesting than that. Did you do that?
I did.
Oh.
No, you can do it to me now.
Are those razor blades? Okay, well, I think you have to leave.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad Fraser.
It's been a pleasure.
I hope you get funding for
Everything.
your left-wing stuff.
I don't feel right. Oh, take me to the river, I'll repent for all my sin, and believe me when I tell you I can be a better woman. I won't lie.